Remember the 1970s? Flares? Disco? Yeah, me neither. But something else flickered to life in that decade. Something revolutionary: video games. Before smartphones, before the internet, we had Pong. 2 lines and a dot, bouncing a pixel back and forth. It was basic. Primitive even, but it was addictive. Pong was simple to play but devilishly hard to master. Hours melted away, lost in the digital ether. It wasn't just a game, it was a glimpse into the future. People scoffed. A fad, they said, a passing fancy. Little did they know Pong was just the beginning, the first blip on a very different kind of radar. Soon, arcades began to pop up, dark, noisy places lit by the glow of these new machines. Space Invaders, Asteroids, Pac-Man, each game a new adventure, each bleep and bloop a siren song, drawing you in. The 1970s may have been a blur, but the birth of video games? That was unforgettable. The 1980s. Big hair, shoulder pads, and the relentless march of video games continued. Arcades became the place to be. Crowds gathered, pumping quarters into Pac-Man and Donkey Kong. Every game was a test of skill, a chance to top the leaderboard. The competition was fierce, the bragging rights even fiercer. But something else was happening. Gaming was coming home. The Atari and the Intellivision brought the arcade experience to living rooms. Suddenly, you could battle pixelated gorillas and outrun ghosts without leaving your house. These early consoles were basic, but they held a universe of possibilities. Games like Pitfall and Miss Pac-Man became household names. Kids spent hours glued to the television, joysticks in hand. The graphics may have been primitive, but the gameplay was addictive. The 8-bit era was a golden age for gaming, a time of boundless creativity and innovation. It was a time when anything seemed possible and every new game was a voyage into the unknown. The 1990s. The internet was still a baby, dial-up was the soundtrack to our lives, and video games, they were about to explode. This was the decade of 3D. Remember the first time you saw Super Mario 64? Or spun Sonic the Hedgehog through a loop? Mind-blowing, right? The gaming world became a canvas for creativity. New genres emerged, first-person shooters, real-time strategy games, and platformers that took us to new heights. We weren't just playing games anymore, we were inhabiting them. We were exploring vast landscapes, solving puzzles and battling enemies with an arsenal of weapons. The PlayStation and the Nintendo 64 duked it out for console supremacy. Each new release pushed the boundaries of what was possible. Graphics became more realistic, soundtracks more immersive, and the stories? They started to rival Hollywood. The 1990s was a pivotal decade for gaming, a time when the industry came into its own. Section 4. Connecting the World, Online Gaming and Graphical Leaps. The 2000s, the new millennium. Y2K turned out to be a dud, but gaming? It was just getting started. This was the decade of online gaming. No longer confined to our couches, we could now connect with players around the world. We built empires in Age of Empires, battled hordes in World of Warcraft, and fragged our friends in Halo. The internet had transformed gaming, creating communities and rivalries that spanned continents. But it wasn't just about connecting with others, it was about the games themselves. Grand Theft Auto 3 blew everyone away with its open world, its freedom, and its gritty realism. The line between games and reality was starting to blur. Consoles like the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox offered stunning graphics and processing power. Games like Metal Gear Solid 2 and Halo 2 raised the bar for storytelling and cinematic presentation. The 2000s were a time of unprecedented growth and innovation for gaming, a time when the impossible became possible. Section 5. A New Reality, Virtual Worlds and Indie Delights. The 2010s. The rise of smartphones, social media, and the continued domination of gaming. This decade was all about pushing boundaries. Virtual reality, once a pipe dream, was becoming a reality. We could strap on headsets and step into worlds that were both familiar and fantastical. Games like Skyrim and The Witcher 3 offered vast open worlds to explore, each with its own unique stories and characters. The lines between film, television, and gaming were becoming increasingly blurred. But it wasn't just about big-budget blockbusters. Indie games were having a moment too. Minecraft, with its blocky charm and endless possibilities, captured the imaginations of millions. Games like Limbo and Journey offered unique artistic visions and emotional experiences. The 2010s proved that gaming wasn't just an industry, it was an art form. And it was an art form that was constantly evolving, always pushing the boundaries of what was possible. Section 6. The future of fun, where gaming goes next. From Pong to virtual reality, it's been quite a ride. What started as a simple game of digital ping pong has evolved into a global phenomenon. Gaming is no longer a niche hobby. It's a mainstream form of entertainment, a multi-billion-dollar industry, and a powerful tool for storytelling and human connection. Where do we go from here? Who knows? Augmented reality? Brain-computer interfaces? The possibilities are as limitless as our imaginations. One thing's for sure, the future of gaming is bright, exciting, and sure to be full of surprises. So buckle up, gamers. The next level is just around the corner.